the Dragon Slayer Codex. I just want to take a moment and thank all of the new support I've received since creating this channel. To all who subscribed, commented, followed my socials, and even joined my Patreon, thank you. I'm thrilled at the response to this project and I'm excited to deliver more. Now, on to the video. Last time, we hiked the mountain trails, tracking the elusive Veilrite in its smoky shroud. Today, however, we don our boots, hoist the anchor, and man the oars to seek out our quarry in the cold, rocky shores of the southwest continent. For today, we hunt the aggressive, terrible, Tassled Thundermaw. Habitat. Towards the southern pole of the world, there exists a region known as Dead Cliff. Here, cold waves crash against sharp stone in a mutually abusive exchange of eternity. The shores are the favored habitat of hardy species, such as the southern Titan crab, a species that forages the shore for its younger relatives, whom it cannibalizes without remorse. The shallows are lined with slick black seaweed, called Fate's Slip by the locals. For the crabs only attack a person lying prone, for a reason unknown to us scholars. The frigid waters are host to a surprisingly productive ecosystem, and fish of all manner may be seen surviving here. When traveling, take some things to note. First, sharp rocks. Falls may be fatal, as would any capture by the riptide. Sea life will feed a kingdom to those who can navigate it, will turn you into fish food for those who cannot. Third, stormy weather, common. There is an unusual overcast of gray clouds, icy rain may follow. Dress accordingly. Now that we've set a scene where the water is cold and inhabited by sea horrors, let's see its titular draconic inhabitant. Characteristics. To quote a local fisherman, the Tassled Thundermaw is rippling with muscle and flexibility, sheathed in lightning. Such a vivid description is, unfortunately for us, accurate. This species is large, weighing in at about 2 tons, is 5.5 meters in height, and unfathomably long. Their tail comprises most of their length and is the longest of the dragons known. This tail is seen to writhe and coil subconsciously, as if it had a mind of its own. The animal's back is covered with a leathery, shell-like skin, worn like a cloak over its head and neck. This adds protection while retaining flexibility, which it has in spades. The Thundermaw's skeleton can bend further than it initially seems, allowing it to adhere to rocky reefs, the seafloor, or any unfortunate creature caught in its grasp. The legs are stout and feet large and webbed. These paddles are adapted to life at sea, but also help when crossing the salt bogs of its habitat. Thundermaw have conical, pointed teeth ideal for a diet of slippery prey, and a terrible hooked beak, which gives it a snarling appearance. Along its face and entire body are electrical organs, highly developed and keen to the smallest of movements and the most devastating of discharges. One may question why an aquatic dragon possesses large wings, and the answer lies in a few explanations. Firstmost, they use their wings to fly. A full-size dragon will manage an average of 17 minutes in the air, flying with laborious effort and slow speed. This movement is primarily for territory hunts. They also use these wings to swim, pushing them through the water with ease. And lastly, they catch the smallest speck of warmth from the occasional cracks of sunlight, helping to regulate body temperature. It should be noted, however, that all dragons are warm-blooded of various degrees. Ecology and behavior. This is a particularly nasty dragon. The Thundermaw is called the Sea Ogre for its notorious temperament and ugly, throaty roars. This beast is slow on land and benthic in the water, meaning it cannot run from threats. As such, it holds its ground and develops an aggressive response to any outward stimuli. They prefer near-shore habitat, deep enough to submerge fully and away from the toss of waves, but shallow enough to see the surface, for they have a penchant for sinking in the water. Negatively buoyant, Thundermaw push off the ground to move, using their strong legs and immense, muscular tail in a mixture of kicks and slithering motions. This huge species sustains itself primarily on fish. It remains stone still in the water, claws gripped onto a rocky surface. Able to hold its breath for an hour, its passively moving tail tip holds a lure to attract fish. Once the area is swarming with sea life, the Thundermaw discharges its electrical power in a single, mighty flash. Dozens of fish several meters around lie dead, and the Thundermaw eats at leisure. The conductivity of water serves as the beast's own trump card, enabling it to disable opponents without even moving a muscle. The dragon is host to a type of octopus that coexists in symbiosis. The ink mare adheres tight to the dragon, absorbing its thunderous charge into its own electrical organs. The octopus vigorously cleans the dragon, picks its teeth, and warns of other hostile leviathans via jets of ink in the enemy's direction. Such service is said to be the only thing the dragon will tolerate, and to tidy like an ink mare in this world refers to an overtly pampering a captain in hopes of gaining influence. Reproduction. Tassled Thundermaw may be occasionally seen resting within a sea cave outside the water. This is a vulnerable spot for this creature, one seen only in nesting females, for their eggs cannot survive the harsh, cold brine of the sea. She is visually identical to the male, only told apart by the presence of pheromone pores along her inner legs and tail. Occasionally, a male will haul itself on shore in an attempt to crush the eggs and mate with the female to sire his own. The defensive female will always attempt to threaten him away, fighting if need be. Courtship is not the strong suit of this species, and the aforementioned pheromones are the only method they use to find one another. Should the eggs survive and hatch, they are born small, writhing balls of meat. Uniquely, Thundermaw whelps have tiny wings compared to their body size, and spend the first decade of their life deep within the sea cave, dining on crabs or fish trapped in the tide pools within. They fledge at 20 years of age, where they are identical to adults, only shorter. Here, they enter the sea in search of a territory to call their own. They will enter breeding age at average of 45 years old, and, due to their slow metabolism, live an average of 200 years. Relationship with humans. Dangerous. Sailors fear this dragon, seeing it as an embodiment of the storms and rocky shores that make the area so perilous to sail into. They say the Thundermaw will keep up with rowboats escaping a marooned ship, only to rip into the bottom with a single bite. Children are encouraged to exterminate juveniles found within the sea caves in which they play. And adult dragons may see the cavern-like underground towns of humans as worth infiltrating or investigation, taking many human lives in the process. Battle tactics. In single combat, a human has no chance, especially in the water. However, there are some things a prepared slayer can do. Note its strengths and weaknesses. Strengths. First, electrical field. Detects anything within a 40-meter radius, electrocutes underwater within 20 meters, on land with body contact. Second, watery habitat, most often found submerged, which makes slaying very difficult. It will either swim away or drown a crew in a death of brine and lightning. Third, muscle, 2 tons of it. The Thundermaw is incredibly strong. And now, its weaknesses. First, poor movement. While very quick to turn and lash in its immediate vicinity, this dragon is a slow swimmer and practically drags itself while on land. Second, poor eyesight. It relies on its electrosensory organs. Eyes are tiny and nearsighted. Third, lack of obvious armor. It is covered in thick, scaly skin rather than the armored plates of other dragons, vulnerable beneath each wing. And fourth, slow reproduction rate. A long-term method of population control, should humanity extend its influence beyond the cavern cities it calls home. A simple piece of advice is to never enter the water where a Tassled Thundermaw may be present. It is the mistake of the foolhardy, those who believe they could take on a foe in its element. Their heroic deeds result in a fried corpse bobbing in the waves. Instead, position yourself above the water, perhaps on a rocky ledge. Earlier, you ideally laid bait on the beach and set minor explosives off in the water. Agitated by the sound and devoid of prey, now frightened by the detonation, the dragon will haul itself onto the shore to lunge at the bait. Now, you launch your bola. Once knotted over itself, aim 1, 2, even 3 times with your large mounted harpoon before sending it deep into the back of the beast. With luck, that will be it. Remember, the best way to hunt a dragon is with your mind and not your muscle. It is the great gift bestowed upon humanity and the tool that will set us free. Conclusion. Now, sailor, you know of the dangers of the Dead Cliff Sea, an embodiment of thunder found to row the waves. Remember, be prepared, return alive. Thank you to my patrons for making this possible. You are the reason I can create. Thank you especially to my top patrons, seen here. Your faith in me is an honor. If you would like to support me or see more of my work, please see the links in the description below. Once again, thank you. Until next time.